issue and just fighting it. But it's really amazing how common it is for people to just criticize and attack you.
Oh, yeah, I'm going to talk about that when I come back, but that's how it always is for a patriot in the beginning. We'll be right back. Stay with us.
We're on the march. The empire's on the run. Alex Jones and the GCN Radio Network.
The globalist social engineers are not just targeting us with propaganda. They are manipulating our genetics. We are being targeted at every level by estrogen mimickers that lower our testosterone and other hormones and natural compounds that the body needs. After consulting top doctors, nutritionists, pharmacists, and others, we have developed what I believe is the ultimate non-GMO organic super male vitality formula sourced from powerful organic herbs and then concentrated for maximum potency. Super Male Vitality was developed to activate your body's own natural processes instead of using synthetic chemicals. Super Male Vitality by InfoWars Life is so powerful that I only take half the recommended dose. For a limited time, we are offering 15% off Super Male Vitality at InfoWarsLife.com to introduce you to this powerful supplement. Visit InfoWarsLife.com today to secure your Super Male Vitality. InfoWarsLife.com. In the last 50 years, iodine has been phased out of our staple foods and replaced with the halogen bromine, a practice now banned in nations around the world. Guess what else is in the halogen family? Fluoride. Ladies and gentlemen, Alex Jones here. In 1924, the federal government did the right thing and encouraged salt producers to add iodine. It's the good halogen on the periodic table, and the results are on record. Reports documented a 15-point IQ increase in areas that had previously been deficient in iodine. Bottom line, iodine is important. Unbound, clean, in a glycerin base. Nascent iodine was the answer for myself and my family. You will find Survival Shield Nascent Iodine exclusively at InfoWarsLife.com. InfoWars Life Survival Shield Nascent Iodine isn't just for emergencies. I take it every day. That's InfoWarsLife.com or call toll-free 888-253-3139. Why does the United States spend the largest percentage of GDP in the world on healthcare? Why do we have the highest cancer rates on the planet, the highest rates of diabetes, autism, and every other major disease? It all comes down to one thing. We are what we eat. Our food is devoid of nutrition and processed with poisons and additives. Our water is filled with toxic poisons and big pharma runoff. All of this has been engineered by design. We can turn the tide against the eugenicist by giving ourselves the nutrients our body desperately needs. To learn more, visit InfoWarsHealth.com. The site is literally packed with audio and video featuring top health professionals who don't bow down to big pharma. The fight against the New World Order starts with you, and you can't stand against the machine if you're sick, tired, and obese. When you visit InfoWarsHealth.com, be sure and check out the catalog with nearly 400 life-changing products and get free shipping when you sign up for AutoShip.
We want your soul. We want your soul. We want your soul.
Defending the Republic from enemies, foreign and domestic. It's Alex Jones.
Tell us your habits, your facts, your fears. Give us your address, your shoe size, your years, your digits, your plans, your number, your eyes, your schedule, your desktop, your details, your life. Show us your children, your photos, your home. Here, take credit, take insurance, take a loan, get a job, get a pension, get a haircut.
Well, they put out fake statistics last year in the Denver Post that record numbers of Americans don't own guns now. I went and looked at all the mainline statistics. That was the opposite. Gun ownership is the highest level it's been in the last 100 years. And there's another article out on that today from Bloomberg. Record U.S. gun production as Obama demonized on the issue, writes the offshore banking cartel operative publication Bloomberg. U.S. gun makers led by Strum Luger & Co. and Smith & Wesson Holding Group churned out a record number of firearms. Government data showed continuing a trend of robust production during Democrat presidencies. More than 8.57 million guns were produced in 2012. They're always a year behind, up 31% And they trend through the next year, they think it's up even more. And they go on to say, but they didn't produce that much under George W. Bush. Advocates of both sides of gun control debate said manufacturers are meeting demand fueled by concerns among gun owners that Democratic presidents are more willing to limit firearm sales than Republicans. After years of steering clear of the issue, Obama pressed unsuccessfully last year for stricter gun measures in the wake of the 2012 massacre at Sandy Hook Elementary in Newtown, Connecticut, if you believe any of that. So there you go. Expanding collections. No, gun ownership is going up, and they can't stand it. I run into people all the time. I ran into some last night who were big liberals who lived in San Francisco and heard the show many years ago and woke up and woke up others and said most of the former liberals they knew aren't conservatives now. They're just more libertarians. And that's it. I mean, you just want freedom, and you believe in individual freedom, and you don't follow this orthodoxy of whatever the Republicans or the Democrats say. And all the numbers show that is the real future. Now, they've got the new host of The Tonight Show, Jimmy Fallon, and Michelle Obama, or the late night show, and Michelle Obama was on there calling young people, quote, knuckleheads. And it's all this joke of, you know, we've got knuckleheads out there that have got to be, you know, dealt with because they get at a party and cut their finger and they're dancing around bleeding. You know, these lazy young people, they don't have their health care. And it's always authoritarian blobs that count on the young people to join the military and go be put in the meat grinder, or who they count on going to buy the Obamacare, that, oh, it's a really good deal. Yeah, it's only 5 times what it would have been a few years ago for you to buy it at the age of 18. But they don't know. And it's just an absolute screw job for young people, inducting them, just like they get young people to go buy college you know, tuition and, you know, go pay for a college degree in most cases that's worthless nowadays. It's like you're going to college to learn how to build buggy whips or something right before the automobile's invented. It's just the whole world's changing. The charged politics of late-night TV, Politico reports. That is just some of the news that we're getting to. The changed politics. D.C. is now a safe zone on new Tonight Show. That's right, with Michelle Obama. And here she is talking about the knucklehead moron constituents. At least she didn't go as far as the head of Facebook, Zuckerberg, calling his users, yeah, they trust us. They're a bunch of dumb effers. It's all very funny to him. So let's go ahead and go to Michelle O, here, a.k.a. the Snapping Turtle.
Thanks to the Affordable Care Act, young people can stay on their parents' insurance until they're 26. But once they hit 26, they're on their own. And a lot of young people think they're invincible. But the truth is, young people are knuckleheads, you know? They're the ones who are cooking for the first time and slice their finger open. They're dancing on the bar stool. They're...
Young people, yeah.
I love how 26 now is a dumb young knucklehead cooking for the first time. And I was cooking when I was 4 or 5 years old. And notice they come out now and they go, oh, the new teenager's 25. They had that study 2 weeks ago. Or it's 26. And you're just supposed to wear your pajamas and be a trust fund kid and, you know, watch your TV shows and your dramas. And this is a whole world in crisis. An incredibly decadent, decaying society with a bunch of hardworking middle-class and blue-collar folks being squeezed, with a bunch of welfare people and socialists and criminals on one side, and a bunch of rich elites that got rich most of the time off government contracts and insider deals, waging war against any independent money so they can have a monopoly as they destroy the only engine they've got of any productivity. Now, the toll-free number to join us, first-time callers on solutions, what you're doing to counter the globalist tyranny, and what you think their greatest crimes are, and what your gut tells you about the future of humanity. Now, we've had some great callers here. We were just talking to the caller about fluoride being a crime. It's on record. It lowers IQ 7 to 20 points, depending on what area you live in and how much they put in the water. And at the same time, You've got all these other things being put in the food and water for social control. And that just shows you we're not in Kansas. We're more of a matrix, dystopic. It's an attempt to bring in a dystopic control grid. That's why there's so much good still, because it's not a total dystopia. They're not in control yet. But they're trying to be God with the panopticonic, total face scanning, surveillance grid, cradle to grave, microchips in the pills you take, surveillance blimps, drones, neighborhood spies, FCC in the print newsrooms, on and on and on. I mean, every form of tyranny on steroids, metastasizing at light year speed. 800-259-9231 is the toll-free number to join us. Now, we're going to take these calls quick. Get ready. DC, calling from Canada. You're on the air. Go ahead.
Hi, Alex. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, I can. Loud and clear.
Fantastic. So your first point was their greatest crimes. I mean, their lies are just so big. They're so bold. They're so unrepentant and so pervasive. I mean, it's like you always say, it's a scientifically designed system for total control. I have a hard time putting my finger on their biggest crime.
I think it is shuttering human potential and poisoning the food and water supply to create a poison fog of soft kill to control us. I tend to think that last caller was correct. So they could then sell aborting our next generation, and then 2 + 2 = 5, Common Core. I mean, their greatest crime is their mindset to dumb us down ahead of extermination.
Absolutely, I'd agree with that. You also asked, well, what am I doing? Well, I rescinded my consent to be governed by the criminal Canadian government over a decade ago. When we went into Afghanistan, I said, that's it. I'm not giving you any more of my money. I'm not giving you any more of my consent. I'm not giving you any power whatsoever. I live as underground as possible without actually being a hermit in the woods. I don't watch commercial television, and I'm not what they would call a good consumer. My plan for the near future is a sailboat in the Cook Islands. And that kind of ties into your third question, you know, what do we see for the future? Well, I've pretty much lost all hope for the average Joe out there. They're so dumbed and so numbed that I have a hard time mustering the energy to wake people up anymore. I spent 10 years waking people up around me, and I just kind of burnt out. You know, I one-on-one people every once in a while if they seem receptive, but I just can't get out there and do it anymore. I just got so tired and so burnt out, and it just makes me so sad to just bump up against the zombies.
Well, that's why it's fun to run around at night sticking bumper stickers up everywhere, climb up power poles with a baseball bat and beat up cameras. I'm not saying people should do that. I just had a dream where you get really energized when you do that. Then I had to wipe the mud off my boots, but from the dream. But the point is that I understand it's very frustrating when you really know what's going on. You know you're right. You've read all their own admissions. You see it, and then people laugh at you. But here's what's going to happen: you're going to have people go to reservations by themselves, their own towns, their own cities, their own areas where people do farm, they do ranch, they do barter, they do value freedom. And you're going to then have such prosperity in those areas. Texas isn't perfect, but it's kind of a microcosm of that compared to California, to where all those that have already zombied and pillaged their area will then come to your area. And there's going to have to be the free association of saying in these new liberty towns that, no, you cannot come here. There is no welfare here. There is no tattletale squads here. There is no gun control here. And they're going to try to then basically use the votes of the larger states and federal government to try to veto us having freedoms. But great call. Bottom line, DC, how do you see it all ending in your gut?
Well, not well, at least for large portions of North America. I mean, if Texas ever secedes, I will be the first one on the shores swearing my allegiance to your Constitution. I guarantee it.
Well, I hear you. It's quite a vision of the future. I appreciate your call. By the way, I saw this last night, Raw story, basically Democrat operation that likes to take still shots of me ranting to make me look like a crazy person instead of actually looking at what I said. Ran the headline, conspiracy theorist. That means one that does not follow state-run media orthodoxy, one that does not worship Kim Jong-il. What do they call one who does not worship Kim Jong-il in North Korea? A conspiracy theorist heretic.